Hey guys, it's Darby. Welcome to this week's episode of Serverside. This week we're going to be reviewing Saints Row 4, Splinter Cell Blacklist, and XCOM Declassified. So we're going to go ahead and get things started. Hey, welcome back. We're going to go ahead and get things started with my review of Saints Row 4. Okay, so I've never actually played any of the Saints Row games before I picked up Saints Row 4, and so I had no idea what to expect, but I heard a lot of good reviews about it, and so I decided to go ahead and give it a shot, and I'm very happy that I did because it is just over the top ridiculous and a lot of fun to play. Right from the beginning, it throws you into this first mission and you're completely cloaked in battle gear, so you don't know what you look like. You get to your character customization later, and you go through your first mission and it kind of debriefs you a little bit. You learn your basic skills, like you learn how to shoot, how to climb, all that kind of stuff, and it ends with you, your character, saving the world from ultimate destruction. And as you are falling off of the rocket that you just completely dismantled, you land in the president's office and you are now the president of the United States. So that's kind of how the game is set off. And then after it does the little title intro, you get to create your character, and that's a lot of fun. This game gives you like complete freedom. You are literally able to do anything you want. Obviously you pick male or female, and then you can choose any of the female options for the male character and vice versa. You can make your skin metallic, blue, green, yellow, purple, diamond. You can make it all kinds of stuff. You can change your taunts and your cheering, and like you can even change the amount of sex appeal that your character has. Like they give you all kinds of crazy things that you can do. And I was really happy when I went to go customize my character's voice to learn that Nolan North had lended his voice to this. So that was a lot of fun because I love his voice talent. I loved him as Deadpool. And so of course, I was a female character, but I was like, yeah, whatever, I'll just choose Nolan North. That was a very bad idea because once I started the game, like right in the beginning, you're walking down the hallway to the Oval Office because you're the president, and you're talking to people, and even if you're a female character and you choose a guy voice, it does not change into the female dialogue. So you're still talking like a guy and you are shouting guy things, and it's just very awkward, and I'll let you figure that out on your own if you want to experiment with that. So I started a new character and I still chose Nolan North's voice, so now he's a dude, and it was a lot of fun. Like right in the beginning you have a little tiny moment of serenity, and then just all hell breaks loose and this game goes crazy. Aliens crash land on your planet, so then you are dropped down into a simulated environment because the head alien is trying to take over your planet and destroy you. And the whole game kind of is just, I can't think of any other word to describe it other than ridiculous, and it's a lot of fun. Everything is complete freedom to you. You can run around everywhere. Obviously you have your missions to do, but if you want, you really can just run around and free roam the whole entire city. There are a lot of jokes on old video game franchises, like right in the beginning when you're in your tank trying to shoot down all the alien ships, they form up like the game Aliens. While I love this game, there's a lot going on, and that's where it kind of brings in its biggest problem. There's so much going on for the game and so much that it's trying to like refresh and handle at once. There's like so many glitches and it clips, and it's too much for the consoles to actually handle. And at first I thought it might be okay on PC because, you know, you can upgrade your PC and it'll give you better graphics card and all kinds of stuff, but it has the same exact problem. It's just there's too much trying to happen at one specific moment that the game just ends up looking bad, and the graphics aren't even that good. So it's just like you have tons of action going on, you have tons of animation happening. I mean, it's just a lot to handle, and it sucks because it would have been a really fun, awesome game, but it's irritating because you have to like reload a bunch because you'll fall through the floor and off into endless space, and it's just a hassle. But if you can move past that, like if you don't mind just restarting the game to make sure to save a lot, if you don't mind doing that, I would definitely pick it up because it's a lot of fun. If you remember a couple weeks ago when I reviewed Deadpool, I said it was the craziest, most fun that I've ever had in a game. This is probably a little bit more fun because you're able to do a lot more, but it still holds the same level of craziness that Deadpool had. So I definitely recommend you pick it up and go play it. It's a really fun experience.
Splinter Cell Blacklist is a game released through Ubisoft, or Ubisoft if you're the dick that corrects people. Sam Fisher is back. After being retired, he is on a mission to find the people who are getting blacklisted, which is actually just a list of people being blacklisted who actually just hack computers. What can I say? Sam Fisher's a badass. A new company took over. For it being a completely new team, they've taken it in their own hands and actually corrected and gave you that Splinter Cell feel. The game, the whole way through, does feel like a Splinter Cell game. The mechanics are really smooth. There's a new voice actor. Doesn't sound bad. His voice is really deep. It does sound monotone sometimes, but the gameplay and mechanics don't really matter at this point because it is a Splinter Cell game. You want to be stealthy. You do have to stealth everything. You can try and run and kill, but you're gonna die. It's really realistic in the aspect that you are a spy, so you have to be as light as you can. So your armor, as much armor as you get, is pretty much really just gonna be like some Kevlar t-shirt, and that's good because you can be really fast and really stealthy. But the thing is, once you get a shot, your whole screen goes red. It's not gonna take you 10 seconds. It's just really gonna, it takes you there. 3 shots, you're gone. You're dead. So you really have to take the stealth game into consideration, that this is a stealth game, this is realistic, you are going to get shot, you are going to die. You have your ranging from pistols, shotguns, snipers, you get to choose, customize pretty much anything on you, your suit, your weapons, your goggles, any kind of vision you want. You can get night vision, you can do heat sensing, anything you want in this game. The only bad thing that I will say about this game that it doesn't bother me, but is a big thing seeing as we're in 2013 and we're not in 2009 anymore, are the graphics. I know the game started development in 2010, but they still had a lot to improve, and you know the PlayStation and the Xbox can handle them because there's games this year that look incredible, but that's not enough to not like this game. But as Sam Fisher, he is older and coming back from retirement, that he can still be a badass. So pick it up. I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10.
The Bureau XCOM Declassified is a strategic third-person shooter developed and produced by 2K Games, and it is the latest entry, at the time of filming, of the nearly 20-year-old XCOM franchise. The story follows an agent named William Carter who has just been brought into this group called the Bureau, and officially later known as XCOM, when aliens start invading New Mexico, and William has to find out why they're invading and how he can stop them. The gameplay is less strategic than most XCOM entries. Now originally, a little bit of history, this was originally dubbed just XCOM, and it was supposed to be the sole reboot. Enemy Unknown wasn't even supposed to be made. This was announced in 2008, and it was originally a first-person shooter. But they changed it to a third-person shooter, I guess, when they realized the extent of strategy in a first-person shooter is don't get shot, dumbass. The third-person shooter gameplay actually works very well. There's a lot of cover for you to get behind, and cover has been an important staple in the series, but they seem a little linear at times. You know all the times when enemies are going to come in because you'll see a sudden appearance of chest-high walls everywhere, and then there's a new thing called Battle Focus, where you can command your troops, original XCOM style, move them around the field and give them commands to attack or use their special abilities. And this is really when the gameplay shines the most, because there are times when this works very well. It's not as strategic as I would hope it could be. I don't really need my agents most of the time. I can win most fights by myself, but sometimes you really need their help. From Enemy Unknown and XCOM UFO Defense, I think, they've introduced permadeath, which means if your agent dies, they're dead for good. You can't go back and save them. you have to get a new trainee and then raise them up the ranks again. And it was really great in Enemy Unknown because people died, and if you screwed up, those screw-ups lasted permanently, and it was a huge consequence system. This doesn't really work in the Bureau so much because you have a main focus. You have William Carter, and if William Carter dies, he comes back to life. You know, you just reload the last checkpoint and any other agents who died come back too. It's a weird system. If your teammates die, they're dead for good, but if you die, they all come back. Partial failure is punished more than total failure, and that's just really weird in this game. You'd think you would be punished more for dying yourself than if your teammates just died. Like, an easy way to get around this would be if William Carter couldn't die. I know that would be like, it would make the game too easy and you'd be more prone to take insane risks, but if all your other agents could die, but William Carter couldn't, then that would mean the game isn't about him anymore. It's about your teammates and keeping them alive. And that's really, to me, what the XCOM franchise is about. You've always been a commander in these games, you've never been a soldier in them. Another thing that feels really off is the base. Every time you go from a mission, you go back to the XCOM base, and there's really nothing to do. You can solve some minor puzzles, help people out with some bullshit problems that they have, but that's it. There's nothing that's significant to the story, and there's no research or engineering you can do like in Enemy Unknown. Despite the fact that there is an entire department called research, there's nothing to do there. That's a huge problem for me because one of the best parts and one of the most strategic parts of XCOM Enemy Unknown and the series in general is you can research stuff and help yourself out a little more. One thing that is really good though about it, that it does better than Enemy Unknown, is you can send agents who you are not currently with on missions around the United States, so they can go do other missions and raise their levels up. It's like in Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. And really, that's a great system of how it works, but you never get to utilize it, like I said, because your agents never really die. It's a little weird. They take out the strategy, they take out everything that really makes it XCOM, but there's still something that resembles XCOM there. And it's not just the enemies, but there's a feeling. The alien invasion, like, it has an atmosphere that feels really natural. And that's another thing this game does great. Actually, this game does it perfectly. The atmosphere is really good. It looks like the 1960s, and that was surprisingly great about it. Like, visually, the game is pretty stunning. Everything looks authentic. The characters' faces are okay. They react to what's going on at hand, although there's some lip-syncing issues that go on. But it looks and sounds pretty good, so hey, they did one thing perfectly. And also, the story, just ignore that. You want to play the game and have a good time with the story? Just picture it's an alternate universe where the aliens invaded during the 60s instead of 2015. That would actually make it really great. And as messed up as it is, and I know no one's gonna support me on this one, I kind of hope they make another one. They didn't leave a bad, like, jumping off point. It was decent, and they could do a lot of things better. Just add the research, add more urgency with the agents, and you got a great game on your hands. As of now, it's a 7 out of 10. I can't honestly recommend it to anybody who doesn't just absolutely love the XCOM franchise or love that kind of playstyle in general. If you're just a casual gamer, don't play it. It's really not that good, but I enjoyed some parts of it, and at its best, it's really thrilling and strategic.
Alright guys, thank you for watching. Make sure and like and subscribe to our channel, share the video, check us out on Facebook if you haven't already. It's facebook.com/infiniteMediaNews. Make sure and stay tuned next week. We have a lot of exciting things coming up, so thank you. That's the show. Yay.
And then after that part, just put
Darby Lawson, Extreme Tortilla Hunter.
Oh my gosh, no.
and then put like a poster with
Okay, thanks for watching.
Like, instead of guns, she had tortillas.
Dual wielding tortillas?